why do people hate hearing that there is no conventional Western cure, pill or surgery to stop the tinnitus, and that a pill or surgery to stop the tinnitus, like a Western classical cure, is not coming anytime soon? It just is what it is. Why do people hate hearing that? Why do they get triggered when they hear that? I'm going to explain this to you because it really gets to the core issue of why you're suffering. Here is the best explanation, whether you like it or not. People hate being out of control. Human beings are remarkable at changing things we don't like, but we're terrible at accepting things that we cannot change. So when you tell someone that there is no conventional cure and that habituation is the only real way forward, what they're hearing is that they can't control it. And that is true. They can't. What you're essentially saying to them is that they're out of control in this situation, which is true. The ego hates hearing that. Hates it. Because the ego must be in control at all times. If you tell the ego you're in this situation that you can't control, it starts to spiral. It starts to obsess about the tinnitus. It starts to doom loop. It starts to really build an identity around the tinnitus suffering itself. And that drives the tinnitus loop. That's how you see these really toxic people on these Facebook forums and on these Reddit forums. And you're like thinking to yourself, oh my gosh, I hope this doesn't happen to me. That's why I don't recommend doom scrolling that sort of content. These people are in very dark places. They're resistant towards habituation. They don't want to let go. And they built an entire identity around their suffering. And when the nervous system is stuck in that state, it's very hard for it to receive new information, because the bandwidth is just completely overloaded by these tinnitus doom loops and thoughts. So you could be literally handing the cure to someone on a silver platter and they'll miss it. And they'll just snap back at, you're being toxic, you don't understand my suffering, you don't know your story, blah, 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 you got lucky, all this stuff that's not true. It's just filtered through their lens of suffering right now. And so that is the hardest part really with working with tinnitus sufferers, is to convince them to let go of their identity of suffering. Is to convince them to accept that they cannot control this situation. And so that is why the crux of the suffering is that they don't want to let go of control. They don't want to surrender. But that surrender is what releases them of their very suffering, of their very prison. They'd rather stay in the prison, because at least holding on to that identity of suffering, that is some form of control. It sounds sick, because it is, but to let go of the identity that they're a victim is to lose all control. And the ego would rather suffer in predictability than step into the unknown of healing. Okay? Because the suffering is predictable, but healing is unknown. And there is a potentiality of you being let down. But here's the thing. If you were to abandon your control and surrender and say, I'm going to go down this path of habituation, even though I'm afraid, even though it's not certain, nothing is. But I'm going to believe, and I'm going to take every day, practice the habits, download the app that I made, or use it, it's a web application. Practice everything in it. Do this every day consistently for 12 to 18 months. And I'm going to believe that the best is ahead. I'm going to reframe my thoughts. I'm going to meditate as many times as a day as I have to. I'm going to leave no stone unturned. I am going to knock until that door is open. And whatever happens, happens. But I refuse to allow my brain to what if me. I refuse. That's not an option. If that were everyone's approach, then tinnitus suffering by and large would not be an issue. So that is why people hate hearing. Hate hearing there is no such thing as a conventional cure, because it forces them to accept they're not in control. And people hate that. Hate it. Look at the majority of the world's problems. Dictators, wars. It's one megalomaniac trying to be in control and refusing to let go of control. That's how we have wealth disparity. That's how we have all of the problems in the world, the man-made problems, is ego and people refusing to surrender. Because when you get control, it's really hard to let it go. Really hard. And holding on to that control will cause you to suffer. In the case of tinnitus, it'll turn your life into a living hell. So when I say there is no conventional cure, it's not coming. Habituation is the cure. It's right here. Your only question is then, how do I habituate? If you're ready to go down that path. And I have built an app called Tinnitus Companion. You can go to it, tinnituscompanion.com, that lays out the exact framework that I did, every single step. You click of a button and you're meditating. Click of a button and you're thought journaling. Click of a button and you're reformatting your thoughts. Click of a button and you have your recovery statement. Click of a button and you're talking to an AI coach. Literally, you can track your habituation status. If you do the tinnitus test every single day and you do this stuff every day consistently for 12 to 18 months, you can find relief. So it blueprints all of habituation out to you. It's a 7-day free trial, and if you like it, it's only $29 a month. So, and that's all you ever need. So you never have to go doom spiral. I have resources in there, downloadable resources you can download. You can sign up for the 7-day free trial, go try it all out, download all the resources, cancel, and you can have all the resources for free. So anyway, this is, here's the thing. I cannot sit here in good conscience and try and sell you noise ear generators, because they're overpriced. The ENTs are already hustling those things. I can't tell you there's some sort of supplement or there's this voodoo cure. There isn't. It's not being genuine. But I can tell you, listen, here's how I cured myself, through habituation. And here's how I did it. And it's not guaranteed, but there is a really, really high success rate, and millions of people are backing this up, and I'm a testament to it. And I'm giving you an application that I built that literally is from how I habituated. And I habituated so well that I never hear it. And I'm traveling the world, living my dreams, and my life is like way better than even before I had tinnitus. I can get behind something like that because it's real, it's honest, it's true. It's built from the deepest pain in my life of tinnitus, literally destroying my life, me finding the solution, walking out of hell itself, and handing you the keys. So, hey, listen, if you like this video, smash the like button. It really helps the algorithm. Comment below. I love hearing what you're saying. And until next time, I'll talk to you later. Peace.